What Joe Learned. It was early in May that our story takes place. It was a cold, dreary day, and the inside of a courthouse looked pretty scary to a 15-year-old boy by the name of Joe Tarkins. You see, this was the first time Joe had ever been in a place like this. Joe was in trouble.
Quiet, please. Running a stoplight, excessive speed, reckless driving, no driver's license. Mr. Tarkin, as the father of this boy, you can be fined $100 or 5 days in jail for contributing to the delinquency of this minor.
It's not Dad's fault, Your Honor. I took the car. He didn't want me to drive. I'm the one, not Dad.
Bailiff, bring the boy into my chambers. I want to talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Court adjourned.
Oh, Dad.
You go ahead, Joe. I'll be here when you come out.
Sit down, Joe. Well, son, what do you have to say for yourself?
There's not much I can say for myself, sir, except... Well, it wasn't Dad's fault. Honest, it was mine.
We've gone over the facts very carefully, but why don't you start from the beginning and tell me just how you got into this mess?
Well, it was like this, sir. Why can't I take the car, Mother? I want to ask Mavis and her friends to go to the school picnic with me. What's wrong with that?
Joey, Father doesn't think you're old enough to drive the car alone, and you don't have a license.
Well, why can't I get a license? Dad knows I can drive. Just last week he let me drive. On a side road.
But he was with you. Oh, why can't you be patient? Why can't you wait until you're a little older?
I just can't say it, Mother. Other kids my age start driving cars. I think Dad's an old grouch.
Joey! Joe, where are you going?
Sounds like you thought Mom and Dad really had it in for you.
I was burned up at first. Then I tried to forget it. But how could I, Judge?
Want a lift, Joe? Or are you walking for your health?
Hi, Tom. Jim.
Hi, yourself.
Boy, it must feel great to have your own car.
Like Dad says, a guy's got to grow up sometime. Why shouldn't I have a car of my own?
I'd settle for a chance at the family car now and then, but...
Well, my old man lets me have the car once in a while. When he's in a good mood, that is.
Are you guys going to the school picnic?
Are we?
Sure are.
That's the only time I can have a piece of 7 different kinds of cake all at one time. All chocolate.
That's the big event of the year. We wouldn't miss that.
Jim has it made. His own car. And you get an allowance, too, don't you?
Sure. Don't you?
All I can say is you're one lucky guy. All I've got is calluses on my hands from hard work out at that ranch.
Aw, buck up. You're not even a cheerful hitchhiker.
Oh, don't take it so hard, Joe. Maybe one of these days I'll let you take my car for a spin.
Fat chance, Jim. You wouldn't let go of that steering wheel for all the words I could throw together.
Maybe not right now, but sometime, who knows? Well, here we are, into the line. The old institution of higher learning.
Thanks for the lift.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
One of these years I'll graduate from this place and get a car of my own.
Talk about a one-track mind.
Come off it, Joe. Mrs. Ryder wants English in class today, not cars.
So, then you wanted not only to drive, but you wanted your own car.
That's right, Your Honor. But I knew that was a long way off. But I didn't give up the idea of driving Dad's car.
What happened next?
I tried another approach.
Hey, Joel, where are you?
Under the car, Tom.
I stopped to see if you wanted to go for a soda with Jim and I. But I guess you don't. You look like the original Grease Monkey.
I'm a mess, all right. But I've got this jalopy in great shape. I tightened the fan belt and fixed a bad tire. Now a wash job for it. Then for me.
Why the fit of ambition?
I'm playing an angle, boy.
What do you mean, an angle?
You should know. Weren't you the guy that said, if I can get my dad in the right mood, he lets me have the car?
I get it. You're using your head, boy. Well, gotta run. Jim's waiting for me.
Thanks for stopping.
Okay, and good luck with your old man.
And you see, Pop, I fixed that fan belt.
Yeah, it looks good.
Remember that tire you spoke about yesterday? I patched that, too. I guess we won't have to buy one for a while.
It's nice work, Joe.
Tired, Dad?
No, no more than usual. Why?
Oh, nothing. Just asking. I sure saved you some money in that car, didn't I, Dad?
Yes, you did, son. I appreciate what you did.
Dad, about the car, would there be a chance of your letting me take the car to the school picnic? You know, take a few friends along?
Oh, not by yourself, Joe. I'm sorry, son, but you need a few more years on your shoulders before you can drive alone. But we'll work it out. I'll manage somehow to find the time to ride along in the car that afternoon.
I can just see that. Papa has to go along. What do you think all my friends will say?
Well, that's the way it'll have to be for a while yet, son.
Well, of all the... I'll find a way, you'll see.
What's that, son?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Joe, you come back here. Joe!
Well, Judge, that did it. I was going to drive that car to the picnic, and Dad was not riding with me. I went straight over to my friend Mavis's. I guess I was still upset.
Joe, is there anything wrong? You look white.
Nothing much, but I came over to ask you something.
Let's sit here on the porch, Joe. You're not mad at me about something, are you?
No, I'm not mad, but, well, there's something I wanted to ask you. It's about the school picnic. Are you going with anyone? If not, I'd like to have you and your sister ride along with me.
You're gonna take your dad's car?
Now, that's my problem. You don't have to worry about that.
I don't want to offend you, Joe, but I heard your dad talking to my dad yesterday, and he said he wouldn't let you drive alone, that you were still too young.
Oh, he did he? Well, you just figure this, Mavis. I'm coming after you in a car the afternoon of the picnic. That's if you'll go with me. You just be ready.
I'll go, but be careful, Joe.
Even your girlfriend couldn't stop you now. Is that it?
Well, it seems pretty foolish now. Here I am in a police court, my name on your records, a jail sentence staring me in the face. I'm terribly ashamed of what I've done.
Go ahead with your story.
It was soon after I told Mavis that I would be after her in the car the day of the picnic that I met Jim on the street.
What you doing uptown, Joe?
Jim! Hi! Almost everywhere I go, I see you in your car.
You wouldn't have a green eye, would you?
Yeah, I admit it.
Oh, stop it, boy. You're breaking my heart. I'll not rest another minute until you take this buggy of mine and drive it.
You're kidding!
Hop in.
I'll do it before you change that mind of yours. I'll see you a year from now.
Hey, just around the block now, you rascal.
Hey, kid, where do you think you're going? Why don't you put your hand out?
Sorry, mister,
These kid drivers, I wish they'd pick them up for good.
Been wondering where you were. How'd you like it?
Like it? I'm going to drive Dad's car by myself if I have to. Yes, if I have
If
to.
you have to what?
Never mind. Just you never mind.
You'd coaxed, you'd schemed, you'd dreamed. Weren't you ready to give up, Joe?
Your Honor, I never wanted anything so bad in all my life. And then one day in class.
And now, class, we'll go over some of our questions for the spelling test tomorrow. I hope that all of you are prepared because this will be the test next to the final one. I'll call on you all by name. No interruptions, please, and no help from the class. John Thomas, spell attribute.
Attribute.
Correct. Joe Tarkin, will you spell clarinet?
Chevrolet. Chevrolet.
Oh, I must say I've heard some spelling in my time, but where were you, Joe?
Hey, Joe, why so gloomy? You know, you really gave us a laugh in class. Say, have you heard about the car drawing down at the Chevrolet dealer? It's this afternoon.
You're ribbing me, Ted.
Not either. It's the truth. I heard a couple of boys talking about it after you spelled the word Chevrolet in class. And if we hurry, we can get our names in.
And now, folks, this afternoon we have the pleasure of drawing somebody's name.
Sure,
Some
we win.
lucky
Yeah,
person.
me too, boy.
Some
That's
lucky
the
car
first
winner.
time I ever won.
Who will volunteer to pick the car?
I will. There he is.
Quiet, please.
What a lucky man.
Here's a man to pick up the lucky number. Stand aside there. That's right. Let him through. All right, everybody look at your ticket and follow the numbers closely.
Boy, here it comes, Joe. What's your number?
5942. What's yours?
3273.
Here is the lucky number. The number is 5940.
Oh, Ted, look, it was almost mine. Look, Ted.
Yeah, tough breaks, kid. There goes the lucky man now.
Judge, I was almost crazy when I didn't get that car at the drawing. It was so close.
Still not willing to give up, were you, Joe?
No, Judge. It wasn't long after that I was down in one of those used car lots one day looking the cars over.
Well, what you doing, Sonny? Looking the cars over, huh?
Sure am. Wish I could buy one.
Getting a job is the answer to that, Sonny. Now, you see that red hot rod over there, a real cream puff. I'll let you have it dirty cheap. You're getting yourself a job and leaving the rest to me, huh?
Boy, that's a dream. Do you think I could make enough to buy that?
Why not? Other kids buy cars. Hey, maybe your dad will help you on it, huh?
No chance of that.
Oh, look, kid, I'll even rake off $50. Now I want to get rid of the rod. See if you can't wangle your dad into it.
Honestly, mister, I sure want it, but I just can't get hold of that kind of dough right now.
Getting yourself a job, kid.
A job? Maybe I could get a job. Today. This afternoon. Right now. Phew. Seems like I've been walking for miles. Nobody wants to hire a kid like me. Why can't Dad let me take the car by myself? He's forgotten how it feels to be young and have fun. Here's a sign. Man wanted. And this is a garage. Think I'll go in and see. Maybe there's a chance of working after school. I know Dad wouldn't let me quit school now.
And what can I do for you, Sonny?
I see you have a sign out there and it says man wanted. I wondered if you'd hire me after school for work. I know a lot about cars. I always do the work on the family car at home. Dad's usually too busy and...
Sorry, boy, you're not quite qualified for this job yet. I've got to have a man on full time. You out of school yet?
No, but I can do plenty of work after school. Look, mister, won't you let me have a try at it? Maybe I could quit school. I've just got to have a job.
Look, Sonny, I've got a couple boys of my own, and I'm making sure they get their education first before they try for any full-time job. You stay in school. You won't be sorry. You've got lots of time yet. After you graduate, come and see me. I might have something.
Oh, look, mister, isn't there something I could do?
You better get along, kid. I've got work to do.
I guess my discouragement showed, because late that night, Mother said,
Joe, dear, what's wrong? You haven't acted like yourself lately. You've hardly touched your supper tonight. Won't you tell me about it? Maybe I could help some way. Have you been having trouble at school lately?
Oh, Mom, can't you leave a fellow alone? Do I gotta tell you everything?
No, I was only asking because I thought I could help you.
There's nothing you would do. Dad's too stubborn to do anything about it. What's the use of talking about it?
It's about driving the car, isn't it, son?
Yes, it's about driving the car. Seems like nobody cares around here whether or not I do anything I want to do. All I hear is, "You're too young, Joey boy." Doesn't anybody see when a fella reaches maturity?
We really are proud of you, Joe. You've been getting good grades in school. That is, until lately.
Well, if you must know, I'm disgusted because you and Dad won't let me drive the car by myself. After all, Jim has his own car and an allowance every week. You and Pop just... Why do you have to be so stuffy and old-fashioned, Mom?
I keep telling you, son, you're not as old as Jim. It'd be a good thing if you'd rely on our judgment a little and not believe that we don't care about you.
Actions speak louder than words, Mom. You yourself told me that plenty of times. I want to take Mavis and her sister to the picnic. What's wrong with that?
Nothing at all. I think that'd be nice. If Dad could ride along with you.
Mom, will you stop saying, "if Dad rides along with you"? Just don't talk about it if that's all you gotta say. If Jim is old enough to have a car and his dad says it's okay, why can't I at least drive ours to the picnic? It's only 30-minute drive. I'm going to my room. Let me alone, Mom.
Oh, Joey, why won't you listen?
You didn't listen, did you, Joe?
No, Your Honor. I just wouldn't listen no matter what Mom said.
If you had listened right then, all this trouble would have been avoided.
And it's a funny thing, Your Honor, but it was only that morning that verse Dad read from the Bible kept pounding in my head, but I kept closing my mind against it. It went like this, "Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee."
That's one of the commandments, Joe, and the Lord means what he says. I've seen proof of that over and over again.
Well, after the talk with Mom, I got madder and madder, and I was determined to do something about driving Dad's car. The morning of the day of the picnic came around, and as usual, I was still thinking about only one thing, driving Dad's car by myself. I was walking to school when...
Hiya, Joe. Want a ride?
You know the answer to that without asking.
You've got us real curious. Just how are you coming to the picnic? I could stop and pick you up. We're buddies, you know.
That's my business.
Look, Joe, you're not going to get into any trouble, are you?
What makes you think I'm going to get into trouble? I just told you I'd be there and that it was my business.
Nothing could stop you, not even the warning of your friend.
If only I'd listened, Your Honor. Well, it was getting towards afternoon. Mom had baked some cookies for me to take to the picnic. She and Dad were going on a drive with the folks next door. They had just bought a new car and they wanted Mom and Pop to take a ride with them. Dad spoke to me before they left.
You sure you don't need the car and me this afternoon, Joe? I told you I'd be glad to ride along.
I'm sure of it, Dad.
Well, how do you plan to go to the picnic, son?
Everything's worked out, Dad. You and Mom go ahead.
Your mother says we might be late coming home for supper.
I'll have enough to eat at the picnic.
Son, be careful.
But, Judge, I wasn't careful. It wasn't long before Mom and Dad were on their ride with the neighbors. The old ranch house seemed awfully quiet after they left. And that Bible verse, "Thou shalt honor thy father and mother," kept running through my mind. But I turned the thought aside. Now was the time. Dad hadn't bothered to lock the garage. I slipped out the back door and went into the garage. Looking at my watch, I saw it was only 1:30. The picnic started at 2:30. That would give me plenty of time to pick up Mavis and, well, maybe take her for a little ride first. I didn't know when I'd ever have the chance again to take the car by myself. I just figured I'd be home long before Mom and Dad. Alone with this wheel in my hand, wind against my face, this is what I've waited for and planned. Mavis be surprised. I won't tell her. Just pretend Dad loaned me the car. She won't know the difference. After all, other kids have done it. road's clear. I think I'll step on it. No cars in sight. Wowie! A red light! I can't stop! Better slide on through. Look out, that old man! Thank you, God. Oh, thank you. I missed him. Mister, are you all right?
I guess so. Nothing hurts.
I just barely missed you.
You came awfully close, boy. Awfully close. Oh, sure scared me.
Wait here. I'll call somebody.
That won't be necessary. I'll take care of it.
Well, where'd you come from, officer?
I was parked around the corner. Now stand back there. Stand back. Let the man breathe.
I'm all right. The boy didn't touch me. He just scared me. I'm all right, I tell you.
All right, son. What's your name?
Joe Tarkin.
Age?
15.
Address?
1740 Vine Street.
Now, where's your license?
I don't have any.
What? No license? All right, boy. I'm issuing you a summons on 4 violations. Running a stoplight, excessive speed, reckless driving, and no driver's license.
Yes, sir.
You appear in juvenile court with your father on this date. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Come on. I'll take you home and talk to your dad.
There I was, riding home in a policeman's car. Dad would have to know everything. It suddenly hit me full force. I had made a mess of trouble for my parents. My friends would find me out. Jim, Tom, and Mavis. She probably wouldn't speak to me again after standing her up like this. Well, Mom and Dad weren't home when the policeman drove up. I hope no one else saw me get out of the car and run into the house. I just slumped down in Dad's big chair. Maybe an hour passed.
Joey, what are you doing here? I thought you'd still be at the picnic. Your father and I came home earlier than we expected to.
Well, I just didn't make it, Mom. Dad, I've got to talk to you right now.
Oh, can't we have supper first? I'm hungry.
Dad, it's gotta be now. Alone.
All right. Let's go into the study. What's the matter, son?
Dad, I took the car out this afternoon.
You what?
I sneaked the car out after you and Mom were gone. I wanted to drive it by myself, well, you know, like Jim and Tom do. I was on my way back to pick up Mavis when it happened.
What happened?
I drove through a red light.
Go on.
I was speeding and I almost knocked an old man down.
Did you knock him down?
No, honest.
Now tell me the truth. Did you hit and run?
No, I didn't, honest, Dad. The man was scared, but he was okay. There was a policeman there. I got a ticket.
Where's the car?
The policeman told me it would be brought back to our house.
And we had just planned...
Plan what, Dad?
Nothing. Now.
What conclusion do you get from all this, Joe?
I guess I've got some sense knocked into me, Your Honor. I should have listened to Mom and Dad. A fella can sure get off in the left beam. I could have killed that old man. And if I'd had friends in the car...
They could have been hurt, too. You see, Joe, it happens every day. People get mangled or killed. I could quote you statistics that would sound unbelievable to prove that what you did, or almost did, is one of the worst problems we have to face.
Judge, maybe what I'm going to say sounds, well, like kid stuff. But I'm going to be careful from now on. I'm going to listen more to my folks. They're pretty swell, Mom and Dad. I guess I made them feel real bad. Real bad. I hope Dad won't have to pay for what I did.
Joe really felt badly about what had happened. He realized now that what he had done wasn't any joking matter. It was serious business. The juvenile court placed him on probation for 6 months, and the judge ordered him to write a letter to the officer who arrested him, one to the judge himself and one to his dad. And he never forgot that his dad might have been sentenced to pay a fine or even to stay in jail, all because of him. Then there was the old man he had almost hit with the car. Oh, Joe shuddered every time he thought of it. In fact, a whole year went by before he even wanted to drive again. Then another year passed. Joe was almost a man now, wiser, more thoughtful of others. Then one day...
Hey, Mom, who's blowing that horn?
Don't know, Joe. Better go out and see.
Hey, Dad, were you blowing that horn? Whose car is this? Boy, what a honey.
And here comes Mom, too.
Have you told him, Father?
Told me. Hey, what's up?
This is your birthday present, Joe.
My car? Honest? Wowee! What's that paint? Dad, don't put a scratch on it. My car! Yippee!